Hello, bratya! This time I decided to try a slightly different format, whether it works or not, we'll see. Today we will talk about gaming peripherals, specifically about the Logitech G X Superlight 2. I recommend to watch the whole video, because I will explain the problems of the previous versions of this mouse, and we will find out if these problems have been solved or not. By the way, since this is currently my main mouse, and if there are any issues with it, I will leave a comment in comment section below and pin it, just check it out. To simplify things, I will refer to the G Mice 18, G X20 and G X2 23, meaning the year of release, because it's very easy to get confused by the names. First of all, I should mention that I have some experience in a gaming peripheral sphere, so after playing over 5000 hours in various shooters, and that's only on my main account, I have changed quite a lot of gaming peripherals, including keyboards, headsets and mice. And I think I have something to say. My first experience with a wireless mice started with G 18, right after a cat incident, when the cat pulled out my Zoe FK1B, bent USB port on my computer and completely destroyed my mouse. And in order to not repeat the same problem again, I did quite a lot of cable management and tried to minimize the number of wires as much as possible. Before that, I had Logitech mice. No issues with them, except for their shape. G102 and G305, they just too angular for me. And coming to local store where you can touch the mouse before buying it, which is probably the best way to choose a mouse or any other peripheral. When I first time placed my hand on the G 18, I literally fell in love with the shape. It fits perfectly in my hand, like the chest of a beloved woman. But essentially the mouse sells due to proper marketing as well as positive PR, simply because a lot of people like that shape, and even though quite a lot of pro players still using the same G 18 or G X20. In general, this mouse can be considered the third version, but let's go step by step. My first experience with the G Pro series of 18 and G X20 cannot be called the most pleasant. I had 3 G 18 and 4 G X20. Well, I mean, I almost never got to use them. Most of the time I was rolling to the stores and returning them under warranty due to double-clicking issues with the main buttons. No jokes, folks. This is most painful issue with the Logitech mice. There are a million posts and videos on the internet about this problem, literally forcing potential buyers to just think about it, look for the stores with a newer batch number, or return the mouse to the store under warranty and wait for replacement. You certainly don't expect this when you buy a mouse for more than $100. I had some hope that the problem would be fixed in the updated G X Superlight of 20. But no? The second version of Logitech G X20 was almost as nil for me. I even made decision never to buy anything from Logitech again. They made mouse 17 grams lighter, updated their sensor, changed the fit, and removed the buttons on the right side, leaving the same crappy Amron micro switches on the main buttons that started double-clicking after a week or month. But in addition, there was another issue, and no, it's not the scroll wheel encoder that everyone complains about. I couldn't even break it, despite the fact that I spin it very aggressively in Apex for top strafing and bunny hopping with the wall jumping. The problem with the pressing the wheel button, which is mark button in Apex Legends, it's double clicks right out of the box. Store as well as Logitech support will also assure you that this software problem, update the mouse driver and everything will be fine.
Wanna know how I got these cars? I mean stickers.
Funny thing is, after going to the warranty department 6 or 7 times, they were looking at me like I'm an idiot. The guy sitting at the service point literally didn't notice any double-clicking issues, refusing to exchange or refund. I took the mouse, demonstrated the problem in online test. The guy takes the mouse back and he doesn't have any problems. In the end, he had no choice but to let me check his office Affotech mouse for double clicks. And he was surprised that I couldn't find any issues there. Apparently I have some superpower of finding double clicks. Xavier just call me. And I most immediately posted on Reddit. Yes, I use a translator, but I was immediately made aware that I was not the only one. People really buying a mouse for over than $100 and almost immediately return it under warranty waiting for replacement, making it like a gacha game in real life.
Sheesh.
Yes, 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 yes. Fuck! No, 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 no!
So, welcome to harsh reality, comrade. Watch for a batch number of the mouse, hoping that it will be newer and these issues will be fixed. Or engage in mouse modding, soldering elements. And smoothly we move to the focus of this video, Logitech G X Superlight 2. And we will find out if they fixed the issues of the previous versions or not. Mouse comes in slightly altered box and can actually be easily confused with the previous versions. Content of this box absolutely the same with previous versions. A cloth for wiping tears, if you were unlucky with the batch number, toilet paper, a cable for charging mouse Type-C, USB dongle, adapter Type-C, a spare holder for storing the dongle with a glued glide. I don't know if this thing has actually a name. And grips. Mouse is absolutely identical to G X Superlight 20, in fact it might be even the same case with a change it in sides and bottom part. Speaking about bottom part, if you had glides for G X 20 version, you can safely throw them away as they will not fit. Now there are. Which you almost immediately need to replace because they barely stick out from the bottom part and are likely to wear out to zero within half a year depending on mousepad coating. In terms of assembly, everything is fine, nothing wobbles, cracks or rattles. Main buttons. In the Superlight 2, they replaced the double-clicking ailerons with the optical switches, which should have fixed the double-clicking problem. In my case, there was no double-click issue on the left and right mouse button. Mouse click is juicy and crisp, with minimal post-travel on the buttons. The bounce delay, button response, still one of the fastest. And let me give you a little historical background on why double-clicking is terrible. If game has mechanics that requires holding a button to use scope by holding button or to hold button to charge a shot, bows and sniper rifles for example, double-clicking can release the button earlier than you want to. This affects significantly flick shots and shooting from bows and sniper rifles in any games. The problem of double click is that when you click, there is tactile click, which make action in a game. And when you release the button, double click release the button before the click occurs. For example, I literally couldn't play Overwatch, which had such mechanics. But in this mouse, it seems like they fixed this issue with optical switches. Or I got lucky with the mouse, I can't say for sure yet. In my opinion, although it is most likely the case, the side buttons, scroll wheel, wheel encoder and mouse wheel press microswitch remain unchanged. In my case, there is a floating double click on the mouse wheel. It appears and disappears when you slowly and smoothly press the mouse wheel button. Most likely, Logitech added a debounce timer to the micro switch, which works relatively well, at least better than the previous version of the G Pro X Superlight. I don't think it will be fixed with a firmware update or a newer batch of mice, so by the end of the warranty period, it needs to be replaced immediately. At least after 48 hours of speedrunning from bronze to diamond in Apex Legends and everyday use, I don't feel any issues with the scroll wheel. So it seems like Logitech knows about the problem and trying to fix it somehow. Apparently they still have a lot of those shitty micro switches in stock. Let's better speak about connectivity and cable. Since they updated internals of the mouse, allowing it to work at 4000 Hz, I will talk about working in this mode. After months of testing, I can say that the mouse doesn't lie about battery life and wireless approximate working time. And it can hold a charge for a long time, almost up to 3 days, which greatly affects the comfort of using the mouse, especially after the Pulsar X2 Mini, which I had to charge every 6-7 hours, and with software that poorly displayed battery life. As for the cable in a package, well, what I can say. It's a disaster, bruh. It doesn't bend without braid. So my advice is to use a holder or replace the cable with something more flexible. I use my worn out cable from the Pulsar X2 Mini. About 4000 Hz and internals in detail. I have played a lot of Apex Legends in the last months and can say that 4000 Hz is good. Mouse movement feels sharper, but at the same time, the system load is significantly higher, because the mouse sends 4 times more data, which should also affect battery life, but to my surprise, it didn't. Logitech mice have a pretty good mouse sleep algorithm, which prevents the battery from draining too quickly. In the second version of Superlight, they updated the mouse sensor, increasing maximum DPI to higher values that no one will use with this mouse. I haven't experienced any sensor issues with any G Pro mouse, and this one is no exception. Let's go straight to the software. Logitech software, which is Logitech G Hub, is horrible, confusing and buggy. When you first time connected your mouse, it would forcibly select a different profile and reset mouse settings when launching any game, but locking one profile as default seems to solve the problem. New feature in this software includes sensor lift-off distance settings. You can see them on the screen right now. There are also new features related to optical switches that reduce battery life, but should definitely fix double-click issues. I currently have it in hybrid mode and haven't encountered any problems yet. Actually, I forgot to mention that you can copy DPI from your previous mouse. Every mouse has a DPI error, and Hero Sensor Calibration allows you to eliminate these errors and set the sensitivity 1:1, as on the last mouse. There is my previous mouse, Pulsar X2 Mini, which I used on 1600 DPI. So let's try to transfer. Pressing Hero Sensor Calibration, pressing Next. Now we see a short description what it's actually doing. And there you need to put DPI that you used on your previous mouse. I'm pasting here 1600 because it's my actually DPI, which I use every day. Now you need to place 2 mouse side by side and just move them right. And after this you can actually see your adjustment DPI, which is a correction from the previous mouse. 5% is not such a big error for me, and having set up 1600 DPI on a new mouse, I didn't notice a difference of 5%. But I don't exclude the fact that everything depends on the past mouse, and maybe this feature will help someone. Essentially, this is the same G Pro X Superlight 20, with a slightly modified sensor, for some reason changed fit. and optical micro switches that are supposed to fix the double click issue. But do they actually fix it? We'll see. So far, I haven't encountered any issues in a month, but if something happens, I will write about it in the comment section below and pin it. Even though main buttons are now problem-free. Yay! But the situation is made worse by the fact that they didn't take care of the mouse wheel problem in a $150 mouse. I hope that the optical switches will last at least a couple of years instead of half year or year. Anyway, stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment in the comment section below. I know my English is really bad. I didn't speak quite a lot from a really long time. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I also like to express a huge thank you to those who support my content financially on a Boosty. The nicknames of those wonderful people are on screen. Well, that's all for now. See you next time. Are you fucking kidding me? For that kind of money? It should be able to make phone calls, vacuum the apartment and cook and brew coffee.